Thank you so much for checking out my channel again. This is Mr. Nemard, and the name of the channel is Empowerment. Today I want to talk about a father's pain. Before we get into that though, please ensure that you have subscribed and also click on the notification bell so you can be the first to be informed whenever I upload new content. That is, of course, if you find value in the content that I am making and you would like to show your support. Thank you so much. Now let's get into it. One of the most painful things in life is the loss of a loved one. Even harder than that is the loss of a child. That is irreplaceable. That kind of feeling is monumentally painful. But there is something even worse. If you have lost your child and you were responsible, now that is enough to drive anybody off the deep end. I am in a somber mood presently because of news that came out of my home parish. A member of the police force left his child in his car while he was at work for the whole day. Obviously, we're living in a tropical climate. And if a 1-year-old child is left in a car and the car is locked and there is no one to pay attention to that child, I don't believe it takes a rocket scientist to figure out what would be the outcome. Well, just what you're thinking out as the outcome, that was the outcome. That child is no longer with us. Honestly though, here's the thing about the law. The law does not account for feelings. The law is about right and wrong. I believe that by law, he can be charged for manslaughter. However, I believe even if he's charged for manslaughter, that would not even compare to what is happening to him psychologically. We can make up our own narratives. We can say whatever we want to say about the situation. However, none of us knows what is going through that man's mind. No one knows what was going through his mind. Based on limited information, it would appear that on a usual day, this person would normally drop his daughter off at daycare before going to work. Now, the way I thought of it at first glance was, if you normally drop your child off at the daycare, wouldn't you, after getting to work, check up at the daycare to say, okay, how is she doing? Has she had lunch as yet? Is she playing with the other kids? That is what I would do. And at some point, maybe earlier on in the day, for example, if you went to work, if he went to work at 9 o'clock, possibly by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at the latest, he would check back in with the daycare to see what is happening with his daughter, just to check in. And that what that would have done is, after calling a daycare, he would have been informed that, Mr. So-and-so, you did not drop your child off at daycare this morning. We were wondering what happened, why you didn't drop her off. Now, what that would set a chain of activities in the brain in motion. If I didn't drop her off at daycare, where is she? Okay, I actually didn't go to the daycare this morning, but I remember putting her in my car. It would hit him like a strike, a lightning, to say, my child has been in the car for the past hour, and retrace his steps. I believe if something of that nature happened at that point in the day, we would not have been getting this news. However, that didn't happen, and it is a painful reality. Painful reality. This is something we have heard happen in America and European countries before. I don't recall it happening in Jamaica before. However, though, the law does not account feelings. The law is, for the most part, black and white. The child is no longer with us, and whose responsibility is it why the child is no longer with us? Child is no longer with us because of what can be called negligence on the father's behalf. So therefore, by law, there are some charges that should be placed against him. However, that painful. I don't think the law would take him as accountable for the passing of his child as much as he took himself accountable. And the reason why this story resonates with me is because I myself have a young child, and I can only imagine pain and the suffering that that gentleman is going through right now. And of course, we have lost a young lady who could be, we have lost a baby that could have grown up to become a prime minister, a doctor, a lawyer, a prominent member of society, someone who is good in sports to take Jamaica to the world once more. We would never know what that child could have grown up to become. Sad situation. However, I say, parents, be very vigilant with your kids. Your kids depend on you for life and for sustenance. Be very careful. Pay attention to your kids, because when things like this happen, there is no going back. There is no do-over. There is no do-over. It is done. And however much pain you're feeling, however much hurt you're feeling, will not bring your child who you love, who you would give your life for, that will not bring your child back to you. Crying and the torment you feel and the blame that everybody's placing on you is not going to bring your child, and nobody's hurting like you. And the reason why you're hurting is because you blame yourself more than even we blame you, because we are just on the outside looking in. We do not know the intricacies of the situation. We are just on the outside looking in. We can only give uninformed opinions. But if someone was to say, take a walk a mile in my shoes so you can see the pain that I am feeling, you can feel the hurt that I am feeling, none of us would want to do that. No one would want to walk a mile in your shoe. And I mentioned, however, though, that the law does not speak about how you feel. The law speaks about the action that caused the demise or the injury of someone else. Thank you so much for joining again. It's Mr. Nemhard, Empowerment. Wish you all the best, sir. And I know the hurt that you're going through. I know that everybody is blaming you. But just know that there are some people out here who can think rationally and can think through the pain and through the hurt and through the suffering and try to understand your position. I believe if you are incarcerated, that is the least punishment, simply because the punishment that is going on in your mind is much worse than living the rest of your life behind bars. More power to you, sir. This is Empowerment, Mr. Nemhard, signing off.